What if I told you someone close to you is lying to your face right now? Not a stranger, not an enemy, someone you trust, someone you might even love. Most people think manipulation looks like a villain, obvious, cruel, easy to spot. But real manipulation is invisible. It doesn't look like control. It looks like love, like concern, like reason. And by the time you notice it, you've already lost something. Your confidence, your reality, your sense of self. Today, I'll show you the 5 signs that someone is manipulating you. Not the obvious ones, the ones hiding in plain sight. Sign 1. They make you doubt your own memory. You remember the conversation clearly. You remember exactly what was said. Then they look at you and say, "That's not what happened. You're remembering it wrong. You're too sensitive." This has a name, gaslighting, and neuroscience shows it works because memory is not a recording. It's a reconstruction. Every time you recall something, your brain rebuilds it. And if someone consistently challenges that reconstruction, your brain starts to trust them more than itself. Dr. Elizabeth Loftus spent decades studying false memory. Her research showed that external suggestion alone can plant entirely fabricated memories in confident, intelligent adults. Now imagine someone doing that to you, deliberately, repeatedly. The sign to watch for: you leave conversations feeling confused about what you know, not what they said, what you know. That confusion is not a flaw in your memory, it's evidence of interference. Sign 2. They reframe every conflict as your fault. You bring up a problem, a legitimate one, and somehow, by the end of the conversation, you're apologizing. You came in with a grievance. You left with guilt. Psychologists call this DARVO: deny, attack, reverse victim and offender. The manipulator doesn't defend themselves. They flip the dynamic so fast you don't see it happening. Suddenly, your tone was too aggressive. Your timing was wrong. You're always doing this. Research on coercive control patterns shows that chronic DARVO erodes a person's willingness to raise concerns at all. Not because the concerns go away, because the cost of raising them becomes too high. The sign to watch for: you've stopped bringing things up. Not because everything is fine, because you've learned it won't go well. Sign 3. They use your vulnerabilities as weapons. At some point, you trusted them. You told them something private, a fear, an insecurity, a wound. That's what intimacy is. That's what trust does. But a manipulator files that information away. And the next time you push back, the next time you assert yourself, they reach for it. You're only saying that because of your father. This is exactly why people leave you. You're always been like this. This is called weaponized intimacy, and studies on psychological abuse patterns show it is one of the most damaging forms of manipulation because it turns your own story against you. It makes vulnerability feel dangerous, so you stop being vulnerable. And when you stop being vulnerable, you stop being yourself. The sign to watch for: you've become careful about what you share with someone you should feel safe with. Sign 4. They control through inconsistency. Some manipulators don't use anger or logic. They use inconsistency. Some days they're warm, generous, present. Other days, cold, distant, critical. No explanation, no pattern you can find. This is not mood. This is mechanism. Behavioral psychology calls this intermittent reinforcement. It's the same principle that makes gambling addictive. When reward is unpredictable, the brain doesn't detach, it obsesses. It spends enormous energy trying to understand, to fix, to earn back the warmth. Studies show that intermittent reinforcement creates stronger emotional attachment than consistent kindness, which means the person treating you inconsistently has more psychological hold over you than the person who's always good to you. The sign to watch for: You feel relief when they're kind. Not happiness, relief. That difference matters more than you think. Sign 5. They isolate you gradually. This one is the slowest, the most invisible. They don't say, "Stop seeing your friends." They never say that. They say, "Your friend doesn't really understand you like I do. Every time you come back from your family, you're in a bad mood. I just think certain people aren't good for you." It sounds like concern. It sounds like protection. But what it's doing is narrowing your world, one relationship at a time. Research on coercive control by sociologist Evan Stark shows that isolation is the foundation of long-term manipulation. Not because isolated people are easier to control, though they are, but because isolation removes the mirrors, the people who reflect your reality back to you, who say, "That doesn't sound right," who remind you who you were before. The sign to watch for: your circle has gotten smaller, and somehow they're always the reason. Closing. Here's what manipulation is really doing. It's not trying to hurt you. That's not the goal. The goal is to make you easier to manage, to shrink your confidence until you stop questioning, to blur your reality until you stop trusting yourself, to narrow your world until the only voice left is theirs. None of these signs alone means someone is a manipulator, but if you recognized 2, 3, 4 of them in the same person, that pattern is telling you something. Trust it. Your instincts were right before they convinced you otherwise. If this video made you see something clearly for the first time, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more content on how your mind works and how to protect it.